Hello, I'm Blair Heptig with Kansas DOT, and I just want to give a quick overview of pavement preservation in Kansas. We have what is called a substantial maintenance program, also referred to as our 1R program. This is basically a dedicated set of funds for pavement preservation. Typically, we fund this at about $180 million per year, and that allows us to address approximately 1,200 to 1,400 miles of roadway out of our more than 10,000 mile highway system each year. And really the goal is to protect the public's investment in the highway system by preserving as-built condition as long as possible. I should note that for fiscal year 2016, this budget has been reduced to $20 million. Project development to construction is a multi-year process. So for example, projects constructed in 2015, we start out with a distress survey that takes place in the spring of 2013. Our pavement management system will develop a candidate list of projects that would have taken place in the fall of 2013. We send this candidate list out to the districts. We have 6 districts in Kansas, and they're allowed to select locations and preferred actions. This is typically done in the winter. For 2015 projects, this was done in the winter of 2013 through 2014. Then we go on what we call our 1R tour. We go travel the routes, look at the roadways. We did that in the fall of 2014, spring of 2014. We let the projects in the fall. So the 2015 projects were let in the fall of 2014, and they go to construction in the summer. So the first thing that we need to do is do our annual distress survey. Our pavement management system generates an annual report showing the percentage of the system in good, fair, and poor condition. We identify that as performance levels 1, 2, and 3 respectively. We use this performance level as a simple measure to help determine where our preservation fund should be spent. When we started out with our pavement management system in the early 80s, we set some goals. And really, these goals were established kind of keeping in mind where we wanted to go in our funding level. And as you can see, back in 1983, we didn't have a lot of our system in good condition. But with the implementation of this 1R program and our pavement management system, we've been able to maintain our performance levels here as of recent above 90% on our statewide system. For 2015, we're at 91.2% at performance level 1. Now this performance level is based on the distress state of the pavement. This distress state is a 3-digit number where each digit represents the level of a certain pavement condition. The first digit is an indicator of roughness on all pavements based on the IRI. So for example, if your IRI is less than 105 inches per mile, it gets a performance level 1 rating, or a distress state level rating of 1. The second digit, it's an indicator of joint distress on rigid pavements or transverse cracking on flexible pavements. The third digit is an indicator of faulting on rigid pavements or rutting on flexible pavements. So we get this distress state code, and you can see that on the left. And then we have on the top, we have the different types of pavements. And we came up with this matrix of performance level based on distress state. And this was all set up in 1983, and really we had to take into account the condition of our roadways at the time, the tools that we had in our toolbox, and the funding levels that we had to kind of develop this matrix or table. And we've kept it the same over time for purposes of consistency, but really I think with our goals in mind today, this table would look a little different. For example, a distress state code of 222 on a concrete pavement, I don't think we would call performance level 1 anymore. But again, we've kept it the same for purposes of consistency and evaluating the condition of our system over time. Up next is the candidate project selection. That's done by our pavement management system. It uses a network optimization system to assist in project selection. Data is pulled from the pavement management information system, such as distress history, type of pavement, functional class, traffic, and other relevant information. And then we run models to determine the action or no action for each 1 mile segment of the state system to produce the optimum benefit to statewide performance levels. We can run this optimization in a desired performance or fixed budget mode and kind of do some different iterations off of that. And we also come up with a mileage allotment for each district, so we make sure to spread the work out and not concentrate in one location of the state. The pavement management system will generate a candidate list of projects, and it'll have recommendations for 1 year out, 2 years out, and 3 years out. This candidate list is sent to the districts for review. Now the districts, they're able to select the project locations, but they have some constraints when doing so. They must select 40% of the locations in the first year recommendations from our pavement management system, 60% of the locations in the first 2 years, and 70% of the locations in the first 3 years. The district personnel will review this list and select locations according to the criteria I just described for the mileage allotted to their district. Now, the districts are also given some flexibility in selecting the preferred preservation action. And this can differ from the action output by the pavement management system, but they must keep in mind funding and provide kind of a similar scope. I've listed here some of the tools that we have in our toolbox as of recent for both concrete pavements and flexible pavements. Next up is our 1R tour that takes place during the spring, and where we finalize the actions. Personnel from the districts and headquarters drive each of the selected locations and come to an agreement on the appropriate action for the roadway. We also work out some of the project-specific details, such as mix requirements, striping, traffic control, rumble strips, that sort of thing. We also go drive the projects that have already been let and are up for construction that summer, so programmed during the previous cycle, and we want to just make sure that the preservation action that we're going forward with is still appropriate. And if it's not, we'll either address that or try to anticipate some potential overruns. Project letting, again, we do that in the fall. The districts create what we call a 402 for each project. It's really a simple contract document detailing bid items, quantities, showing some typical pavement sections, a few standard drawings, traffic control, that sort of thing, and some project notes. Project goes out for bid and a contract is awarded. Again, that takes place in the fall. Gives our contractors some time to stockpile materials and get things ready, and then it goes to construction during the summer. And that's all I have. Thank you.